Hello there, everybody. It is me, Waddles here. Welcome back to the Wave Tour series, dual part event something. Welcome back to this, whatever this is, and part 1 is out already. This is part 2, so if you've tapped on this one first, that's cool, but there is a part 1, so if you're curious, go check it out. The members' creations. So the builds in this video are largely not going to be my own. I will tell you whose build it is, like, before I'm showing it off, and there will be links to every channel in the description and every timestamp of, like, each part of the video in the description. So definitely make sure you go check that out if you like any of these guys' builds. Go check out what they're doing nowadays. This world kind of was ran about a year ago now, so check out the original creators. Leave a like on this video if you like it, maybe subscribe if you like my stuff here, and let's tour these builds, but not at nighttime. No. Okay, so we begin the tour off at spawn, and just running past the shopping district. This was shown in more detail last video, but this is where we came together and sold things, similar to something like Hermitcraft. But this first base that we are heading through the mountain and then up the mountain to is Withy's base, Withyseeker's base. I actually streamed with Withy a few times, as in maybe just once, maybe once or twice, but this is his base, a giant base hanging off of the mountain. I always was really impressed with this base. I mean, of course, alongside all of the others, and since these aren't my bases, I don't know everything about them. So if this is your base and you're watching, call me out. What did I miss? I think Withy had a fish farm somewhere down here. There was like a hidden button. Would I be able to find it? Doesn't really look like it, but I swear there's a fish farm somewhere in here. But here's his horse. Here is his food area. We will come back out that way. But the most impressive part of the base, the really cool part, in my opinion, is this storage room, like grand control room type thing. Look at this view. This is like at cloud level, it looks like, or maybe even like a little above it. I don't know, but amazing view here of spawn, and then just of this like cool like extreme hill biome. I really like this part of his base here, and it kind of made me like envious. I wanted to make a mountain base after checking this out like the first time. I thought it was really cool. I don't think I've ever really made a mountain base hanging off the ledge like this, but going out the back here, there is actually more to the base. Right in here, we go down here, and then this is kind of like his extra farm area. It looks like we are not going to go into the nether yet. We will do that a little later along in the tour, but I think that is about it for Withy's base. Again, if this is your base, at any point throughout this video, call me out if I missed something. That is my apologies. Switching over to creative mode though here, if we fly straight out this way, we will come across more bases. So this is heading, right alongside spawn, or like behind spawn here. We go down over here, and up there, over there is the next base. This was, I believe, Scrubcentral's base. They joined the server, but only for a little while. But we kind of visited it with signs here. So we all kind of left signs here and presents here and stuff. I think this is all there is to the base. Again, another really impressive view, and I do like how the base is kind of built or shaped into this mountain, or coming out of the mountain. Well, that is really nice. And there's a skeleton horse, like I talked about in the last video. We had a skeleton horse epidemic, you could call it, on the server, and they were spawning everywhere, and then we would be running, and then ouch, we'd get attacked by them. But this is Jagtube's base right here. Very dark up there, so we'll have to probably just stay in creative so I don't get like dive bombed or ruined stuff. But this was his base. I believe he was going to build a castle with it, if I'm right. I might be wrong, but this is his base here. And then over in here, we had a farming area, I do believe. 2 of your chickens kind of got out. Yogg. Whoa, whoops. As you can see, the server is pretty well preserved. When I stopped using it, I, just saved the file. Didn't really go and change anything. So this is as it all looked on like the last day of its activeness. But it's some kind of farm that looks like pumpkins and sugarcane, and then this looks like a chicken farm. In here I see the chickens poking through the dirt, hoping to get out, but they won't, unfortunately. But I think Jag was going to be selling like pumpkin pie or something like that. So if you think about it, you get the pumpkin, you get the eggs, and I think you need sugar, so there's the sugar. So I think this is a pumpkin factory, which is pretty neat, actually. Really, really cool. And then Jag was doing a massive digging operation underneath the surface, if I can find it. Aha. Maybe this is it. Down here. I mean, it's going down, so let's find out where this goes. Before recording this tour, I went and briefly looked around at the bases and stuff. But yep, this is, I think, his massive digging operation. Layer 12 here. Actually, I'm really surprised that was down to layer 12. I felt like that was a really short run. But this is absolutely insane. I have never seen a project with so much digging done. I think this is all stuff he was digging out here, but just huge, massive, very, very, very impressive here. But yeah, this is quite the project. So I think we will go and leave here by flying up this ladder and heading over to our next creator's base. Again, everyone is linked in the description. Make sure you check them out. So this comes back up at spawn here. Private Yoghurt strip mine. So if I'm correct, which I likely am not, I think that led to Yoghurt strip mine, which kind of combined into Jagtube stuff. So here we are at Yogg's base. But first, we're going to go over to Green Bay's base, actually. So, Jagtube's base is inside of this mountain in here. We were just in there, and it kind of pokes through over towards Green Bay's base. It's kind of like in the middle, if you will, even though it's not in the middle of anything, but it kind of is. So, starting over here at Green Bay's base, this was a boat that Yogg built kind of as a joke that Yogg was going to come for Green Bay and he was invading the swamp and stuff. Kind of just like an inside joke, basically, if you will. But it's a nice little miniature boat here, sailing in to Green Bay's area. Green Bay was building, it looks like almost like a city here. This is the type of stuff that I like to build personally. I like to build cities, but this is his house here, just barging right on in here. And then the upstairs of his house, that is his farming system. Green Bay and the shopping district sold animal remains, meaning food, I do believe. He sold food. But then in here is his storage building, which is really nice. And then going down, more storage. And then I believe up is more storage as well in here. Plenty of storage in this building here. And a lot of anvils too. I am envious of that. I never seem to have enough iron to build anvils. I could use an iron farm maybe. But then over here we had a really cool secret room behind the waterfall of enchanting. Really nice here. I kind of really enjoy these secret rooms behind waterfalls. Reminds me of something out of Zelda or something like that. But really cool. So then over here is, I believe, Green Bay's AFK fish farm in here, where we would, just kind of AFK and fish and hopefully get mending, but probably never get mending. I had one of those too, underneath my base. So over here though is the food farm. We have a cow one, we have a pig one, and we have a chicken one. It cooks the food for us, and then he would sell us the food. But with that, I think that is all of Green Bay's base. So now we go over to Yogg's base. So this is the community farm, just looking over at Green Bay Space. Very small community farm. We built it together, but this is Yogg's base. Now, Yogg spread out a lot, so I may miss stuff here, Yogg. And his horse went missing, but then we found his horse. That's a llama. That is not his horse. But this is Yogg's base, sticking out of the cliffs here, or the mountain. That is the Lazy Town song. That was a prank by Jagtube, and he did a whole no block setup underneath here when that was kind of like the meme going around. But this is Yogg's base. We have like a miniature house. Again, I enjoy Yogg's building style, but in here we have like a dining room and then a kitchen, it looks like, in here. And then we go upstairs and we get, you know, like his quarters, the master bedroom and everything. But I really like the compactness of this base. And funnily enough, Yogg right here behind this do not enter door had secret tunnels. These tunnels went around and exited near everyone's bases. So if we were to go up this ladder here, oh, I can't fly because I'm in survival mode. But if we go up this ladder, it will take us to somebody's base. And it was kind of like secret tunnels to everyone's bases, except mine. I don't know if there's a tunnel to my base. There might be, and it might be like very secret, because my base was really far away. I showed it off in part 1 of this world tour, but you see a tunnel to everyone's base. Here we are back at Scrubcentral's base. It's kind of funny, kind of concerning. What you doing, Yogg, or what were you doing? But the tunnel systems go all over the place, so I'm not going to bother like with going and showing all of the tunnels off. Okay, so that is Yogg's base, but there's a little bit more to Yogg's base and what he worked on in this server, and that is very, very far away, and it took me a little bit to find the coordinates to it, but I got it. So we're just going to teleport out there. There's nothing really in the nether. There was just some tunnel systems in the nether, so there's no need to really use those to get there when we can just teleport there. It took me a few tries to find it because it has been quite some time. But here is his jungle settlement here. I believe he was building like a town out here. And I should say again that also I am not sure if there's any other of the members that had these like really far away settlements, but here is his jungle town. So we have another building here, and I have only really seen this once before. I found it once when I was exploring for the jungle, or no, I think I was exploring the nether and I found it, but I found it once. So and there is this, and then over here there is quite the grand build over where we could see that beacon coming from. I'm not sure if there is a proper path to it other than, you know, these torch markers, excuse me, but this is what we come across over here. A Aztec pyramid type thing, like a step pyramid. So we go up it to a beacon. I'm not quite sure if there is any like purpose of it. We could break inside of it and see what's going on, but it is pretty epic, pretty grand. See, it looks like it seems to be just kind of like a structure here. Oh, it looks like some sort of storage room in here. I don't know if it has any other purpose other than that. That is where you would have to check out Yogg's channel and what he does to figure out the true plan behind this thing. But pretty epic, pretty grand. I like what was coming together in here. But really, really awesome. So with all of that, I think that is all of the jungle stuff that we need to show off. So I'm going to go back to spawn. This is very, very far away. Alright, so back here at spawn, and just flying over everything because it's much easier than walking this distance. There is one more base, or one or two more bases that I need to show off here. First off, right here is my buddy Nick's mansion he was building here. Quite the grand build in here. This path leads right back to the town that I showed you in part 1, but quite a grand mansion here, under construction still, so I don't think there is a bunch to show off inside, mainly like different rooms and hallways that were under construction, but pretty grand, pretty massive, quite obviously here with this build. And then moving back over here this way, that is the zombie monument that I showed you in part 1. Over here is my buddy Aero's base. This is like a whole settlement here. We have the cow farm, we have a sugarcane farm, we have his base that we'll go inside of in a minute, but then we have a horse stable here that is overgrown by now. And over here there was another side base kind of chilling over here, one of his buddies that had joined the server for a little bit of time, but just a small little side base coming off of his settlement that was being set up over here. Down in here, I believe, is a portal, right? Yep, the nether portal to get to his base. So now we go into his base. This is what he had going on. He had like a surface room, and then down in here was going to be, I believe, the majority of his base. Really like the design going on here. I helped him dig this room out, but I really like the patterns that were going on down in this room. Really nice, like opening room or whatever. I'm not too sure what the rest of the plan was for the base because it has been quite some time and I kind of have forgotten, but really cool. And this leads over to a little bit more of his base. It is a canal system. Well, there's the tunnel that I showed you in part 1. This links to the skeleton base. So we were going to make like a rail line that would rocket us in between our bases here. That where the wood ends is halfway between our bases, so it's really not that far at all. But then later along we decided that wouldn't be too efficient because we were on the surface a lot more, so we have a canal system. This canal links right up with all of the water that wraps around this town over here that, again, I showed you in part 1. And now we find ourselves all of a sudden over at Chicken Land for the last leg of this shorter tour video here. Aero went off and made another base at one point, and this is his second base. So by the Chicken Land, chicken farm area, you would go into this forest path, and then this split that we skipped in the part 1 video goes over to Aero's mansion here that he was working on. Quite the fancy epic build in here. This was going to be his new base. He was going to move out here, I believe, and just such a nice build in here. I love the block choices going on and just everything about this build. How the ceiling is pretty high in here. I like my high ceilings. Very nice build. But then we go upstairs, and this is, again, like usual, more of like the private quarters, if you will. We have a balcony out here, and then over here, I think there was there a room? No, this is like the hallway area. So then going up again, I think there may or may not be a room. Yes, there is like a bedroom in here, but very nice base, if I do say so myself. Really like this house design, and for quite some time after, I was like, wow, I want to build a cool house, but I don't think I ever got around to doing that because I ended up, you know, not using this world. But then going back to this forest path that we got here with, right, you go this way towards the capital. So for reference, Chicken Land is there. This way goes to Quixotic's base. My buddy Jake's base is right here. He was the last one to join and didn't get too much done, but he was going to be setting up a base in here. Really nice kind of land formation for a base, being like kind of hidden behind this whole giant piece of the mountain. This is naturally generated like that, but that was the last area to show off, the last area that was being built in this world. That portal is from a failed portal linking thing. And so with that, we are back at spawn. That is the wave tours. I think I have hit pretty much everything in this world now. If I realize I forgot something, or I'm told that I forgot something, I can come back and hit it in possibly a short part 3 tour video, but I just wanted to kind of document and show off this world. A lot of this world is unfinished, but it is a really cool and nice world in my opinion. One of my favorite worlds that I have ever had a part in building stuff and existing on this world. Switching over to Chocopic shaders here for this kind of end flyover here. This has been the wave tour videos. Again, there's a part 1 if you feel inclined to check it out, and all of the timestamps to this video are in the description if there's a part you want to go back and check out. And make sure also you go and check out everybody's channel in the description. Go check out their stuff, send them some nice comments, and just tell them, hey, I came from this video. Your builds are cool. Tell them something nice. But this has been the wave tours of this server. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this tour. If you're confused or want to know more about something, go ahead and ask me or them in any comments, and I will see you next time. This has been Waddles. Goodbye.